What is up, guys? It's 4 of Cloves here. Welcome back to another video. It's been a while since my last video. I'm so sorry. I kind of got lazy. To be honest, I took a little break, and like I said in the last video, I'm going to be putting out videos only once a week now. But regardless, we're back, and I've got a nice cooking video for everybody today. Without wasting any more time, let's get right into it.
Remember to subscribe and hit the bell.
So here's a quick little refresher on how to make fried chicken wings. So first we're going to need to marinate. So we got 13 pieces of wings and a couple of drums. And then we're going to marinate with fish sauce or soy sauce, you can use that, cornstarch, black pepper, cayenne pepper. Oh, and a bit of salt. So depending on how much wings you're gonna have, you're gonna put some different amounts, but for 13 I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons and 2 tablespoons. For the 2 peppers, I won't put too much, just enough to get a nice light layer of coating. So these 2 are really up to you. Alright, once that's all in, you're gonna want to mix it up. Use your hands, or you can do what I do and shake it up. Kind of the lazy way to do it, but it gets the job done. Alright, now we're gonna leave it in the fridge for a little bit. I'd say at least give it an hour or 2 to let the sauces kind of soak in a little bit. The longer the better. You can even leave it overnight if you want, that's up to you. So while I'm waiting for the wings to marinate, we're gonna prepare the batter just to save some time later. So what you're gonna need is 2 to 3 cups of all-purpose flour as the base. About a teaspoon of garlic powder, about a teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and if you want it spicy, this is optional. I like to add a bit of chili powder, about a teaspoon or half a teaspoon, and again, optional, cayenne pepper, a little bit. Now you take this and you mix thoroughly. Make sure you get everything evenly mixed. And that's it for batter. And one more thing we're gonna do for prep is to make that sauce that we're gonna add onto our chicken. So what I got here is some ketchup, soy sauce. This is mirin, which is kind of like an Asian cooking wine. Oil, sugar, garlic. This is Korean spicy paste, which is called gochujang. Again, Amazon is your friend if you don't have these in your supermarket. A little bit of butter and some water. Alright, so it sounds like a lot. I'll leave a list down below. If you don't have all of these ingredients, it's not too big of a deal, but I find this combination leads to the best result in terms of taste, at least from what I've tried. So for the water, we're gonna just need a 1/3 cup. For the ketchup, you want to do 1/2 cup. For soy sauce, 1.5 tablespoons, or more or less, depending on your tastes. For mirin, you can't really see here. I wish I had a smaller bowl, but it's 2 tablespoons of mirin here. For the spicy gochujang, we have 2 teaspoons, or more or less. Again, it depends on your tastes. For butter and garlic, you pretty much want a spoonful. For garlic, I use 2 cloves here, minced, and this is, I guess, the amount of butter. Kind of eyeball it, basically. Alright, so I think I've waited long enough for the wings. I had them in for about 2 hours, so I think they're ready. They smell okay. So what we're gonna do is grab them 1 by 1 or 2 by 2, however you want, and kind of coat it in the batter. Make sure it's just enough for a thin layer. You don't want it caked too much. So just about that much is okay. Set that aside and repeat until you're finished all your chicken. One little piece of advice is you probably want to do this with one hand because you're gonna end up with clumpy fingers. Unless that's your thing. If you like clumpy fingers, go ahead, do 2 hands. But after you're done, this is my last one, you should have a nice set of battered chicken wings. So this is my favorite part. I get to wash off the clumpy fingers. Just a weird thing. So if you're gonna deep fry them, then you're pretty much ready to go. If you're gonna use an air fryer, I have one more step I'd like to recommend. Because I'm going to use an air fryer today, there is that one extra step, and I'm gonna show you what that is. So we're gonna add a thin layer of oil to the chicken wings, and not too much, just a thin coating, before we throw it into our air fryer. So I'd like to grab a pair of tongs and 1 by 1, just give it a nice little dip. Make sure it's all covered though. If it's too much, you can actually do what I do here and wipe it off on the other ones, just so you're not wasting too much oil. So once you've done all that, you'll have a kind of wet batch. So we got our handy dandy air fryer once again, making its third appearance on the channel. The reason why I like to use air fryers is because it uses a lot less oil than traditional deep frying, and I'm not trying to get too oily. Also, it's a lot less messy and easier to clean up, so that's a bonus. The downside, I would say, is if you look at this, it doesn't really fit that much chicken wings, so you're gonna have to do them in separate batches, which means it takes a lot longer to finish, but I'm willing to take that little sacrifice. So as always, we're gonna preheat this. We'll do 180 for 5 minutes. Alright, and come back after it's preheat. Always preheat. Alright, so first batch going in. With air fryers, I usually like to get it down to, we'll say 18 minutes, and then 190. And then we're gonna open it and flip halfway, as always, just to make sure it's evenly cooked. So I'm down to about 7 minutes or 6 minutes, so it's a good time to check and see how they're doing. Oh, and I don't know if you can see clearly, but it's pretty crispy on this side, so we're gonna give it a nice little flip, and then get the other side golden crispy. Alright, so our first batch is out and the second batch is cooking, so now we're going to get onto our sauce. So I got a little bit of oil ready. We're going to let that oil heat up. So first we're going to throw in some of our garlic. Actually, I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit. You don't want it too hot. Medium-high heat for this. And then add in the ketchup. Next up is water, so I like to rinse it off. Rinse off that ketchup with a little bit of water. So I turned the heat down quite a bit because it was getting a little bit out of control. Mix that around a little bit, make sure it's fully dissolved. And then we're gonna add our mirin and soy sauce. Alright, so I'm seeing a little bit of bubble, so we're gonna add the butter. Next, we're gonna throw in our gochujang. So once your sauce is in there, just make sure it's all dissolved and you got it mixed. And just keep mixing it so it doesn't stick. And at this point, I like to have a little bit of sweetness to my sauce. So what I'm gonna do is add some sugar. And this is all to your own preference. The gochujang itself is a little bit sweet, but I like to add a little bit more sweetness to it. You can use sugar or honey. I don't have honey, so I use sugar. And then you want to keep it at roughly low temperature and about a little bit on the thicker side. So you don't want it too watery. So I think the sauce is just about ready. I've got it to, I think, the desired thickness. So I got it to where I want. So we're gonna leave the heat on, but very low. We don't want it to cool down. We got a batch that's kind of cooling down, so we're gonna want to heat it up a little bit. But we don't want the sauce to overcook, so we're gonna leave it at low. Also, you can decide at this point whether or not you want to put all the sauce onto your chicken or if you want to do half-half. Sometimes I do half-half. Today I'm going to use all the sauce on all the chicken. So once your wings are ready, you can go ahead and dump them in. Like I said, I'm going to be doing all spicy chicken today. I already got this on low heat and I've been keeping it warm. So what you want to do next is just pretty much mix them up. Make sure you get sauce on all your chicken. Or not, if you don't want it too saucy. But I want to make sure I don't waste too much sauce here. Alright, and here's my sad attempt at presentation. So last thing I want to do is just add a bit of sesame on it, just to make it look nice, I guess. Yep, that looks professional for sure. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And if you liked the video, feel free to give me one of these down below or drop a comment and let me know what you thought. It's been a while since I said this, but once again, thank you so much for all the love and support that you guys have given me. It really helps to keep me going. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. That's it for me for today. Much love for 4 Clubs. Peace out, guys.